Welcome into the Fan Speak Network. We are here on another Friday night with the Degen Dads. I am your host, Justin Bruni. Joining me, as always, is my partner and co-host, Mr. Andrew, the TD King, Raub, and our very special guest this evening, Eric, Degen Eric from That Damn Sports Network. Welcome in, Eric. How are we doing, sir?
Oh, feeling great. Feeling great. You guys are just the people I need to hang out with because I've been getting a little crazy with the parlays. You guys are hitting everything. So this is the lane I need to get in.
That's what I'm telling people. You need more winners. Stop on by, check in with the Degen Dads. We got all the good stuff for you. We make women mothers and we make average people winners. So it's just what we do around here.
There's not a lot we can do, but the stuff we do very well.
You stay in your lane, you focus up, you learn, you hone your craft. Andrew, how you doing, buddy?
Good. I like how you say we make women mothers. I call my sons fuck trophies. My wife always finds that to be funny. Either that or crotch goblins. Either way, love my kids, but sometimes you got to put them in their place. Like, listen, fuck trophies, sit down, eat your dinner. All right.
Whew. Yikes! The conversations in your house. My God, it's not just it's not just on the podcast. It's in the airwaves of the home.
Evidently, yeah.
Man, to be a fly on the wall in the Raub house.
Yeah. Raub household gets a little nutty at times for sure. So, but I mean, when you got two rough and tough kids, I'm surprised our house still stands every evening.
Fair enough. I mean, once they get to that age, Andrew's got two boys. Like, it's the war of the house. I get it.
Eric, you got daughters?
Yep, I have one 14 going on 23.
Nice. Right on. It's that time, huh?
Nobody knows more than a 14-year-old. They know
That's
absolutely
true.
everything.
That's true. I remember when I had that peak, that epiphany of knowledge of life. And, I just knew everything of how I was going to just proceed. God, when you get to that point and you're just like completely wrong and, you're in your 30s and, just glinching at, dollar bills, parlay.
I heard Rage Against the Machine and I was like, I get it now. Now I understand how the world works. It's my job to tell people how the world should work.
I think I figured out how the world worked roughly around like that 10 to like 12 year age, or really when I discovered Lisa Ann. That's when it really hit home for me.
That's too young to make such a discovery.
Became aligned.
I've had a problem for quite a few.
He hasn't had any friends since then either. Just like, nope, just going home.
Tube socks, watch out.
I've got things to do. Chores, if you will. Chores. Yep. We are going to be getting into our best picks for week 5. Been an exciting season. Whew, what a Thursday night football game. That was amazing. We'll go over some of the winners that we brought home last night. But before we do, smash the like button, share the video, follow the Fan Speak Network. Let's ride. Let's get ready to roll here. I was able to grab Kate Otten receiving last night, some Drake London, some Mike Evans anytime touchdowns, hit the over. Sadly missed on the Bucks winning. It's just tough. I was loving that plus money, feeling so good. 90% of that game, and then what a shit show. How did that that game end for you guys?
Yeah, even when they were down, I always felt like the Bucks were going to win that. I took the -1.5 alt for like plus 115 because it just felt like a game they were going to win, and they really should have. Baker did everything he could, but I got in on some Mooney props because whether you like it or not, that's his favorite wide receiver. And then I thought about getting in on some Ray McLeod because their last primetime game, he had a nice one, but I didn't. And he did it again. He might be a primetime games guy. We might have to reevaluate primetime Kirk altogether in Atlanta.
I told Andrew that on a previous cover when they beat Kansas City. So we had the same conversation. This week I stayed away from Kirk. Short week, TNF, very into the narrative for sure. So, but I did start Ray McLeod in fantasy, so feeling good about that. And
man.
Monster bye week with injuries. Devontae Adams just staring at me from my bench, like, yeah, get in there, kid. Do something, Ray. It's got her done. Let's go.
Tyrone Tracy is my Ray McLeod.
Oh,
it's so tough. Singletary's not going to play, it looks like, but looks tough.
That's a rough one.
Yeah.
How about you, Andrew? How'd you do last night?
I mean, decent overall. Missed a nice 44-1 parlay though on Chris Godwin not scoring a touchdown. So thanks, Mike Evans, for scoring 2. Should have took that route. Best ball exposures, very good last night. Finally, Darnell Mooney popped his head up and had a fantastic game. That was nice to see. Kirk as well. Kirk, only player to play for 3 teams and have 500 passing yards in a game for each team. So that is incredible for him.
That.
Yeah, redraft leagues though. I was telling Bruni before the show. I'm in a league where after one game, I'm already down 90 points. The guy had Cousins, Mooney, and London. So not feeling good about that. Not feeling great.
Yeah, that's bad. I mean, you don't look at that, and if you come close, like you're like, oh, hey, look, I came close. You don't look at that the rest of the week. That's just facts. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. Co-host
Bijan and Bucky Irving outscored by Kyle Pitts. So
that's lovely. I had Kyle Pitts on my bench for what it's worth. So
yeah, look at that. Chris checking in on his co-host here, making sure he's being right and proper.
Right and proper.
Oh yeah, getting after the football.
Proper and right. I did have a nice bump as well in best ball last night, Andrew. I had 13% Mooney, and Baker and Kirk Cousins are both in my top 5 for quarterback. So that was fantastic. I hope that
take Daryl Hodge.
No, that wasn't.
I got 17% Daryl Hodge.
Not
we
me.
are live.
I checked.
Not that guy.
I checked BBM DB last night to see if anybody had Hodge in all of these 670 or 667,000, whatever. One person drafted Hodge. One.
His cousin.
And I was like, wow.
I wonder if it's someone that has like an amazing advance rate. If it's one of those like people with like, I've got 72 out of 150.
That team was not advancing. But one person does have Hodge. So
that's good. That's good for us. That's very good for us.
Chris says Kyle Pitts is the death of Eric.
Not just Eric. Many people in the fantasy community are suffering at the hands of Kyle Pitts. Rough. I've discussed a class action lawsuit.
Zach only Robinson. 24 years old.
Yeah. So if by 28, I think we take this up with either the Falcons. I don't want to go after Pitts. I don't want to do that. But
not personally. He seems like a good guy.
We could be wrong about that, Eric. We could be wrong about that. You don't know.
I don't have any proof either way, so my mind remains open.
All right, let's dig into the player props here. Either of you want to lead off?
I mean, hey, the guest goes first, baby.
We were doing player props first.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Breece Hall over 29.5 receiving yards just feels right. He had a rough one last week. These Vikings are seeing 27 targets to wide receivers each game, second only to Detroit, but another 8 to the running backs. And Breece Hall catches the ball nice. He's real worried about Braylon Allen behind him, as he should be. He can get this on one grab. Like, we'll have this by halftime, 30 yards.
I think that's a good way to get him rolling, especially on a week where literally he was able to do nothing up the middle. Like he didn't have positive yardage, I think, until like midway through the fourth quarter. It was really bad. And Braylon Allen was leading the way. If we see any similar type of attack to last week where you're getting a good amount of carries to Allen, it just props up Breece into the passing game. I've seen Aaron look him off a few times on just the quick out, but it's because, Aaron's he's psycho. I mean, bro, check down to Breece Hall, man. Like a million times last week, I just see him looking him off like he's it's like pitcher and catcher in baseball or something. Like, nah, I'm going this way. I'm going downfield.
Like, dude,
no, Breece will go down there, dude. Just give it to him. Yeah. Just feed him. So very frustrating.
This could be like what we got from the corpse of DeAndre Swift last week, where he was worried about Roschon taking his job.
Roschon still scored a touchdown last week.
And don't be fooled by that game, by the way. Swift sucks.
All good.
I do think Swift can have a good week this week one more time. I mean, they play another terrible rush defense. So Swift could be okay this week, but I think we all know where it's heading. Roschon's going to be starting running back real soon.
Segue. Swift over 40 rushing yards this week. Let's ride. Let's ride. And technically, it's a double pick. It's Hubbard over 40 rushing yards and Swift over 40 rushing yards. The Panthers are allowing the second most rushing yards to running backs check mark. That's huge for us. Just getting Swift that upside. He's still been getting the volume, 53 carries through 4 games. It's about roughly 13 carries a game. He should be able to get 40 rushing yards up against this terrible rushing defense in the Carolina Panthers. And Chuba Hubbard just the same. I mean, the Bears defense has been amazing in the air, atrocious on the ground. They're allowing the 9th most rushing yards to running backs so far. It could get better, but I don't think it's this week. That's what the Panthers do. They put the ball on the ground. Chuba Hubbard's been amazing. RB5 2 weeks ago, RB7 last week. Getting, minus 111. It's not the greatest odds between the two, but both picks for their individual alt yards is about minus 210, minus 220. So I feel safe that both sides will use the running back quite a bit. So give me Swift and Hubbard, both over 40 rushing yards in that game.
Guess I'm up here. First off, raise hail to the Commanders. With that said, Amari Cooper over 52.5 receiving yards. Commanders secondary still bad. I know last week it was kind of good for them where they kept, the Cardinals in check. That was an anomaly though, folks. Don't be fooled. I know everyone's looking at Jaden Daniels and how flashy the Commanders are, and I do think that they can give the Browns a game here. But Cooper's going to get his. I mean, he's averaging like 9 targets a game, something like that. He's going to get 52.5. Potentially, I mean, honestly, you could probably take this to 100. I really do think that they're going to make it a focus to get Cooper going really quick in this game. So 52.5 just feels light at minus 113. Again, I mean, Commanders can keep it a game, but I don't think that they're going to stop Cooper very long.
When are we going to get Jameis? Like, there's not a lot of joy in this world. We need to grab joy wherever we can get it. And watching Jameis orchestrate an offense is pure joy. And I can't deal with Watson anymore.
I mean, it is a wild ride. I mean, it's very suspenseful. I mean, with Watson, you're kind of just waiting for it to go wrong. But with Winston, 50-50, like every ball is just like, is it a home run or a strikeout? Is it a home run or a strikeout? Like you're just sitting there in utter suspense, waiting to see what he's going to do. With Watson, you're just like, oh, that was pleasantly surprising. Oh, that was perfectly normally bad Deshaun Watson. So like it's not really a win-win situation for Watson. It always is for Winston because you just forgive him at the end of it. It's Jameis Winston. The guy's eating his fingers like he's a little boy in a grown man's body. Like, we don't care. It's fine. Be as you are.
Weird. I love the DJ Moore revenge touchdown, especially with how he's been playing.
Yeah,
how mad he's been.
I'm going to bring this one back on. Spoiler alert. We're going to talk about this. I'm going to bring this back up when we get to anytime touchdowns.
That's on DK. They're like, hey, bet this revenge ticket. They know something. Don't listen to them. We got to pull one off. I like the Moore one though.
Jamie says, who do we like better this week? Cooper, Deontay, or Brian Thomas?
Cooper.
I mean, yeah, it's Cooper for me, but Brian Thomas is really close there. I'll take both those guys over Deontay though.
Cooper by mine. You just said Cooper's going to have like over 100 receiving yards.
Yeah, I'm saying I said Cooper. I say, but Brian Thomas, it's close for me. I also like Brian Thomas a lot this week as well.
So you're a couple smart dudes. I'd love to ask you this question. Best wide receiver class since when? 2013? I mean, Malik Neighbors is an absolute freak. Harrison is going to be a pro's pro. And now the BTJ killer is arguably almost as good as the other two. And Adunze already put up a game.
Yeah.
Like, if you took any of these dudes, you're doing just fine.
I got Keon Coleman props for us.
Yeah. Do you think him and not Samuel?
Samuel
feels
nothing.
like a trap.
He's been a speck. Like, I'd take all the Samuel unders you can get right now for certain. Maybe I can pull some up. I do have Keon Coleman over 3.5 receptions. It's got the juice at plus 116. That's going to come down. Public's going to bring that number down to even money. Get on it now. Khalil Shakir's out of this game. He's had a touchdown or at least four catches in the last 2 games. I like the opportunity here. He's been getting more snaps than Curtis Samuel. And again, Curtis Samuel just been a spec. I would wager that MVS could probably have a bigger day, or Matt Collins could have a bigger day. Yeah, over Curtis Samuel. I'm pretty sure that both of those players are getting more snaps than him. They've taken a couple of shots at Samuel in the end zone, a couple of shots downfield, but he's not staying on the field enough. I don't think that he has enough blocking acumen, and that's exactly what they get out of Matt Collins.
Yeah, they love a dude like Mac Hollins in Buffalo.
They want to set the edge. They want to run, even if it's the design stuff to Allen or if it's Cook, whatever. They're getting Ty Johnson these insane red zone touches. It's driving me crazy. It's driving me nuts.
Bruni, two things. One, we currently have 69 people watching. Nice.
And,
68. You jinxed it, you bum.
Oh,
73.
74. Oh, look at that. See, I said 69 and it went up, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Also, Mike Rob wants to know, did Bruni end up with the Chuba down low when he heard Gibson was going to start this week?
I mean, kind of. I mean, what is it? It's a terrible offensive line. He has to catch passes. Okay, he's the starter, so pass him the ball more. He's not going to run downhill and just become what Ramondre Stevenson was supposed to be already and why they paid him. He's not going to be that guy.
And he's a reformed wide receiver.
Exactly. Yeah. I loved him coming out of college. I literally called him the next Matt Forte because of what he was able to do and what he was able to be in college. I was like, hey, this guy screams just, hey, pass funnel, A to B right here. Come on, right here. Live in this space with Antonio Gibson.
It's safe to say instead of a Chuba down low, you had more like a Chode down low.
Well, Chode. I mean, I was packing heat. I got to be that way. Why do you got to do that?
Yeah, half soft.
Making babies over here. What are you?
Yeah,
come on now. Unreal.
We're fudges.
Doing good. Doing the Lord's work. Oh, my goodness.
All right, so Bruni, you did too, correct?
Yeah. Also, Houston, 11th most receptions allowed to receivers. That's my last bid on Keon Coleman. Good matchup still.
Okay.
A lot of points on offense to be had in that game.
Eric, what do you got for us, buddy?
I mean, what kind of Packers fan would I be if I didn't come in here and give you Dontavian Wicks over 4.5 receptions plus 135? I mean, if you want to go up from there, it gets pretty nuts pretty quick. 6 receptions plus 287 plus 558 is plus 1125. We're talking about a dude who saw 13 targets playing 76% of snaps last week. He's starting this week. And as a bench player, he's already leading the wide receivers, possibly the entire team, in end zone targets with 4. So, I mean, the touchdown's probably happening. It's going to be – sometimes we get excited about a waiver wire guy and then nothing happens. I think we get the full party this time.
He's not a waiver wire guy. That's the misconception.
Yeah, ball knowers drafted him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. High exposure. By the way, on the first touch or the anytime touchdown, first up. First
God dang it, Bruni. I know you can't read it, but it's there. I can't see.
What color underwear are you wearing right now?
A consensual touchdown. Beautiful.
No, that's unfortunate. I'm not wearing any. I thought we were in simpatico. Maybe next week we'll see.
Cosign Wicks.
Yeah, cosign.
Yeah.
Maybe
Eric,
we buy the.
Eric, are you going to ladder this? Is this a ladder play for you? His receptions?
I'm thinking about laddering Dontavian receptions and the BTJ.
I just wanted to know what his alt yards was. Like what's 85 or what's 100? Because I mean I like Amari Cooper this week, but I think I'd like Wicks to get 100 more over him. The Rams have just been a massive passing funnel.
He's one of those big plays waiting to happen. Oh, that's receptions. That's not yards receiving.
And the Rams also can't stay on the field. I mean, they're just giving a lot of exposure to their defense regardless.
You get 80 is plus 160, 90 plus 223, 100 is 3-1 plus 313, 110 plus 447.
Yeah, I think you get the 100 and the tutty in there.
I got 100 is plus 360, 90 plus 265, 80 plus 200, and then it goes fucking banana lands from there. I mean, if you take them to like 125, that's plus 800.
Wow.
100 and a touchdown is 525.
Ooh.
Maybe like you just put something small on that and do the same exact thing with Reed. I mean, really, both realities are fine. I mean, they're both in play. I mean, again, the Rams secondary has just been a wide open treasure trove for opportunity for receivers. Like it's a great target. Look at how great Caleb Williams looked last week. Looked like
Jalen Ramsey ain't walking through that door.
No. He's actually Jalen Ramsey actually looking pretty good in Florida with Miami. He's looking pretty good. At least the secondary is. I don't know about him personally, but the secondary's got good numbers.
All right. We already talked about this guy, but my next prop up, Brian Thomas, over 53.5 receiving yards, minus 113. This is a really good matchup for Brian Thomas. The Colts secondary is not good. I mean, I'll rest my case right there, honestly. I mean, it's just a really good matchup. He's getting 9 targets the past 2 games. if he sees 9 targets again, he's going to easily clear this number. He at least gets one downfield pass every game. I mean, I'm not sure how this doesn't hit for them. I mean, unless this is like a Kurt game and I'm looking at it wrong, I just don't see how Brian Thomas isn't going to get to 53 yards.
I think it's a 100-yard game for him. This might be the coming out party.
What if Ingram comes back? That's the only wrinkle I want to throw in. If Evan Ingram comes back, is that an issue at all?
Yeah, but I think that's going to be more of an issue when they get to the red zone. They'll use Ingram more. I'm not sure coming back they're going to use him a full workload in between the 20s. It's when they get to the 20 and they're in the red zone that I worry that's where Ingram's going to take the touchdown away potentially. But in between the 20s, I mean, how much do they really want to work him in? They need Ingram bad. I don't think that they're going to go out there and just give him a full workload right out of the gate in between the 20s. So I'm not too concerned about the Ingram aspect. Fair enough.
Jamie in here giving me some slack on Coleman.
Yeah, I saw that. Do we know, is ETN for sure playing?
Yeah, they're both off the injury report, him and Tank.
Okay, are they not? Okay. I would say it's like, because that's a massive
they're both off,
for him, but okay.
Yeah. Tim D saying Caleb Williams had a good game against the Colts secondary. Yeah, but they didn't win. I mean,
Jamie says, I'm taking Thomas over 100 yards. Colts allowed 3 different wide receivers to hit over 100 yards to outside wide receivers. Plus, they allowed 5 TDs to wide receivers. Yep. Thanks, Jamie. I just got my counsel coming in behind me, proving my point. So I like it.
Yep. BTJ Killer hiding in plain sight. He's like the wide receiver 14.
Let's go.
Yeah. I think he was wide receiver. He was a wide receiver 1 before the start of last week's games. I think he did fall a little bit, but yeah, I mean, this dude has just been lights out awesome. A guy that you could get in rounds. I mean, where the hell was he going? 8, 9, 10? I mean, yeah. Has been great.
Yeah.
My next one up is Darius Slayton over 3.5 receptions. Going to have Neighbors out of this game. Robinson has been getting a lot of targets, Wan'Dale Robinson, but his number's at 6.5. I feel safer chasing Slayton at the over 3.5. Still has a lot of experience playing with the Jesus Christ, Daniel Jones. I don't know why Daniel Jones was escaping me. I mean, I guess
you just had a Dan Campbell moment there.
I did. Mine is a little bit smaller. A little smaller intro.
We sat here. It took me a while to get there. We sat here for a minute.
We sat here for a minute working it out.
I was like, Dan.
You were like, Dan kneecaps. Dan kneecaps. Who is Dan Campbell?
It's rough.
Anyways,
rough.
Good matchup too. Obviously, Seattle not very good last week. Jared Goff not letting the ball touch the ground, per his own words, 18 for 18, keeping it clean and easy. Give me Darius Slayton over 3.5. Maybe chase his yards, but I just think the volume's going to be there. They were literally feeding one receiver like 15 to 17 targets a game. I think there should be enough to go around to feed Slayton and Wan'Dale alike. I'm kind of in on Wan'Dale under the 6.5, though. I think the targets could be there, but we've also seen the targets be there and the receptions not be there. So I don't know if they necessarily 100% equate to like a true follow through on the 6.5. So I'd probably go Slayton over 3 and Wan'Dale under.
Like it. Like it.
Yeah, what do you got here, Eric? And you got another one?
Well, I'm trying. I might have to scream at them to post some lines here. They still don't have Josh Downs receptions posted. They still don't have Juwan Johnson receiving yards posted. Preposterous. But I'm looking at some of these. I mean, this Chiefs game, I wanted Juwan Johnson, but I see Justin Watson sitting here at 25.5 yards. He's a trusted friend.
That has gone up from
targets.
That has gone up from 24 already. So market's already moving him. I agree. I would second that. I had him on my kind of fringe list. Like, do I give it out? Do I not give it out? Because again, we're here to give winners. I can't be pushing my so pick. So I'm kind of up in the air about it, but I like it. I like it a lot. And I think that the public may move that to potentially 30, 28. So I would definitely get on, and I second that.
I don't want to go double Jets, but I mean, this is the first non-premier cornerback matchup that Wilson has had. Also, you're getting plus 114 on 97 yards for Jordan Mason. That might be my final answer. That kid's going to run wild.
Yeah, no juice to the Mason TD this week. Not cool.
Minus 250 CMC prices. What are we doing?
He's at minus 250.
That's what I saw.
Yeah, he was at minus 230 earlier for me. So yeah, not surprised. I will kind of see you halfway there with props that haven't been dropped yet. Guys, we have just been cashing the Deshaun Watson rushing yards. They just keep giving us 20 to 22 and just two, just keeps clicking it. Austin Eckler going to be the lead running back this week. He has just been easily clearing whatever receiving yard total that they lay for him because they're laying way too low a number. That's hit for me every single week he's been active. When that drops anything 25 or lower, you are smashing. And if it gets to like the 35 to 40 range, maybe you buy down to some alternate numbers, but I'm riding it. Like I'm riding Eckler until the wheels fall off for whatever receiving prop they give me. Honestly, this week with B-Rob out, I don't care if they give me 45 or 50. I'm taking it. I'm riding it.
Yeah, I mean, that's all he's got. That and Coop.
Andrew, in that same game, you had mentioned Cooper for the yardage.
Yeah.
They're giving Deshaun Watson 212 passing yards. He hasn't hit 200 yet. Is that an easy number or a misread? Because I kind of wanted to take the over, and then I looked at his numbers, and they're dog pound.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a good week to take the over. I mean, this is definitely a defense that could allow that to happen. I do think that they are going to try to focus on the ground game a little bit with Jerome Ford. And I think that they want to establish that to keep Washington's offense on the sidelines. But I think if you're going to take it, this is a good way to take it. I mean, since he hasn't gotten there, we're getting a little bit of a discount. So I would say that's a fine play.
Scary to me.
Another one that's not out yet that I'm going to get on right away is Agumbawale receiving yards.
Man.
Love it.
Interesting. Yeah, I like that.
No, he's been money. It also, like, if you just play like fantasy point totals, like on Underdog, go smash whatever number they give you.
There's that and the first quarter stuff. Mooney first quarter receiving yards has just been an automatic free square over on Underdog. I love those first quarter and first half.
20, 14?
It's like 14 and a half. Oh. Yeah, 12 and a half, 14 and a half.
That's awesome.
I
love that you called out the Mooney and Cousins collusion too. Like how he's his favorite. That's the reason why the NFL had to look into them, because they were talking to each other about how they're going to go to Atlanta, to the dirty South. Blame it on Mooney or the money.
Yep.
Speaking of Cooper, though, he does have a plus 220 for player to record a 30-yard reception. I think Washington has allowed a receiver to have a 30-yard reception on them in every game except for last game against the Cardinals. So just at plus 220, that feels like a nice price for one catch for Cooper.
I love longest reception and longest rush props because they just happen in one play. They're so fun to root for. I took Zach Moss longest rush under 9.5 yards because Baltimore has not allowed a rush of like over 6 or 8 yards all season. They're just absolutely shutting it down. It's like 40 something yards a game. I don't know if it's because they get ahead and you throw, but it's just not happening for teams on the ground.
I watched them play against the Raiders live, and I mean they just absolutely stuffed them. There was nothing of the sort. They were actually just kind of trading blows of just bad drives back and forth, and they just kept just shutting the door and shutting the door and shutting the door. I mean, given it's the Raiders, regardless, they were just cleaning up the offensive line. So I like that pick. Also like Chase Brown more. I'm a Chase Brown stan. So
yeah, me too. I've been heavy on Chase Brown. I'm a big the talent will win out guy on Chase Brown, Zach Moss.
So I got another prop here. Kincaid over 41.5 receiving yards. No Shakir.
Love it.
Kincaid every week has been getting more and more targets, more and more target share. I believe last week he had a 26% target share for the Bills. This is a game that there's going to be points put up. The ball is going to be moving. They're on turf. We all know what happens on turf. Players are moving fast. 41.5 receiving yards for Kincaid. If he's going to be getting 7 to 9 targets in a game, he catches 3 or 4 of those, I think that gets him to the 41 yards pretty easily. So give me Kincaid in a week where there is no Shakir.
Love it. Not as clean as the Jalen Naylor pick, but I think it's going to be there's going to be a clear path.
Segue. Bruni, Jalen Naylor last week was what? 16.5 receiving yards?
Yeah.
And he got 31. This week,
And like
they bring
one
it
play.
back to us with 11.5.
Are you serious? I didn't see the number.
Less. Yeah.
Where did you get that number?
DK. DK
Oh,
has
okay.
it.
Yeah. FanDuel does not have it.
FanDuel does not. Yeah. Damn
Okay.
cowards. But yeah, Naylor has, DK has it 11.5. If you want to take it to 25 plus, which he has got in 3 of 4 games, it is plus 235 for 25
that's
yards.
Crazy. I take the free money. Take the free money at the 11. This may be another. I'm not going to say it. You don't tell people to put their mortgage payment on the line 2 weeks in a row. But I agreed with this pick last week.
What do you mean? They have 2 now.
Technically, they do. You're correct. But you're up. You made your rent. Leave. You know what I mean? Like that's like casino rule number 1. Hey, holy shit, I can pay my rent. Time to go home.
Or
I don't care if I just played one hand.
Or you put it all in black and you double it right now.
Let's go.
But yeah, I mean, when I saw this number, I'm like, I was thinking it's gonna be like 20, right? He got 31 last week on one play. Now, granted, the targets is what's
that's insane though. That's insane.
He had 1 target, 4 targets without Addison. Addison comes back last week. He has 2 targets, but he does catch 1 for 31. 11.5, just again, that feels like way too low for a guy that is averaging more than 11 yards per catch. For me, it just makes no sense.
If you look at how O'Connell is coaching this team, he's really coming at it from like a team first aspect, like the way that he revved up Addison. Like he wants the best players on our team.
Happy.
Exactly. I believe in that. And he's talked up Naylor. You mentioned it last week about how they like him. They were getting him snaps, obviously more included when Addison was hurt. But again, 11.5, it could be anything. It could be a slant. It could be a screen. It could be a sideline grab, anything. And that is legit one play etiquette pick. Like I know that people say like, oh yeah, like Tyreek Hill, like 40 some yards. That's one play for him. No, like 11 yards is one play for anyone.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah,
it's a first down.
Let's take the money you won last week, put it on 11.5, roll it into next week.
Just not your mortgage. I don't allow it. You can't be doing that 2 weeks in a row. It's not allowed on this network. We're responsible. That's what makes us good. Write that down. Smash the like button. Follow the channel. Let's ride.
Does anybody else have a prop?
Najee Harris over 66.5 rushing yards. Going back to the well, I know that we missed this last week. I was all over Najee. Big L's for me. No end zone, no yardage. Didn't hit the carries either. Game script did not go in our direction. But Cowboys defensive line is looking awful. Losing DeMarcus Lawrence, losing Micah Parsons, and before that, allowing the 12th most rushing yards to running backs this season. This could get upwards to the top 5, top 4, even top 3 with those 2 stars out of the lineup. The defensive line is looking real bad. If you're playing IDP, go get Overshown, go get Mozzie Smith, because those guys are going to be huffing and puffing and breathing and playing a ton.
Yeah, Overshown tackles and assists might be a great look too.
I just picked him up in fantasy. I don't know those exact numbers. Sometimes I dip into the IDP. We've had a couple of segments on here discussing IDP player props, but have not seen those. You get like 4.5, 5, or what?
I don't know what his number would be now that he's been increasing his snaps.
Promoted. Yeah.
But, yeah. Around
Even
week 8 or 9, I start to look at the pass rush win rate stuff. And if there's injuries on an offensive line, you can find sack props. But defense.
Well, this is glaring.
Tricky.
Like this defensive line. Yeah. I mean, you're talking about your cornerstones. You know what I mean? Like this would be like if my Super Bowl Bears lost Urlacher and Lance Briggs. Like poof, they're gone. Yep. Oh, well, we're not a playoff team anymore. Sorry.
Similar to Lawrence and Parsons.
Yeah.
Those are your bookends.
Eric, do you got any more props?
Let's see. I got a little parlay that I'll throw at you. I like these both teams over 19.5 points props.
Okay.
And I found some games I like. I like the Buffalo-Houston game, the Arizona-San Francisco game, and the Packers-Rams. You put them together, you get plus 550.
Okay.
But everybody's got to score 20.
I'm into it. I like it.
Degen, I like that. Yeah.
It. What was the odds again?
Plus 550.
Plus 550. Oh, I like that.
You get even money on the Houston-Buffalo game. Like, how do both those teams not go over 20? Where's the defense? Ed Oliver didn't even practice all week.
Maybe they're factoring in DeMar Hamlin. He shuts games down.
So wow.
Wow.
Too
That's
soon?
true.
All right.
He's not
He
great at defense. He's walking into some of these interceptions. It's kind of bothering me. It's kind of bothering me how well he's been playing because he's been a complete liability on the field. I mean, no pun intended to like the near death experience, but literally, like, he's been a glaring hole. He's like that kid from Remember the Titans. Like, he was a bench player last year. You know what I mean?
Not to compare anybody to Darren Sharper, but he gets a lot of those right place, right time picks like Sharper.
Exactly. No, he is right now, and it's kind of bothering me. Like, everyone keeps pumping him up like he's amazing. I'm like, guys, no, he's average at best. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this guy would be a bench player in most secondaries in the league, and I still don't understand why the Bills secondary has been somewhat decent. It's driving me crazy.
Didn't they clone Hamlin?
They did. They did.
That's I don't have enough tinfoil for that one.
Yeah, that was a cold-blooded hard.
I want to make some steak. Need my tinfoil. My last prop is JMC McLaughlin over 23.5 rushing yards. Had 9 carries last week. He's 2-2 to this number on the season. Hit it week 1 where he had 10 carries. Last week he had 9. Was able to go over this number. Vegas allowing the 8th most rushing yards to running backs on the ground. They got a chance to win this game coming off a huge win up against the Jets. If they want to get things going and they want to take themselves seriously, get JMC the ball. Give me over 23.5 rushing yards. Let's go. He just looks better than Javonte. You can't sell me on it.
Yeah, Javonte's smoked. Would you guys pick up estimated stash on your IR spot?
Yeah,
I mean, if you got a free one, why not?
If you got it, because it's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna become more glaring. He just doesn't have the juice. Like, he can pass catch. He has good hands, but they need more than that. They need somebody that can turn a corner back there. They're literally using McLaughlin as a red zone threat because he has outside burst. They don't even try to run up the middle. They're just like, hey, red zone carry. Let's go outside carry. Let's go. I saw it to the right. Like, all right. Let's try it out.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
He had a nice touchdown the other week. He sort of like hypnotized the linebacker on the edge.
Yeah. Because he's got shake. He's got some juice in him. Like, I don't get it. He needs more touches.
Yeah, I got one more prop here, and this is coming from Rashee Rice going down. Xavier Worthy, now wide receiver 1 in Kansas City. Some may say outside. You know, that's why I said wide receiver 1. I didn't say pass catcher 1. That's Kelsey. We all know that's what's going to happen now. But Xavier Worthy over 42.5 receiving yards. He has hit this in 2 games so far. That has been with Rashee Rice. He's averaging 4 targets a game. That's probably going to go up now. And I mean, really, you hate to say it, but this could be a one catch for this guy. He's a downfield threat. He's Tyreek Hill light for them. 42.5 receiving yards. I think that this is going to get bet up by come Sunday night. And I think that we want to get on the right side of this right now. So 42.5 feels good. Minus 113. Take it.
That is one play etiquette for sure in the Chiefs offense, right? My only concern is the secondary for the Saints has been really good, but who else is going to do it? Like, I like Watson to hit that over that, 24, 25 yards, whatever, but that can happen on a couple of short plays. Like, that's what they needed Rashee Rice for. The way that they're using Xavier Worthy, unfortunately, is a credit to some of his secondary opponents that have said, hey, this guy's fast, but he just runs in a straight line. Like, you'll figure it out. It's not rocket science. It might be rockets, but it's not necessarily science. It's just a straight line. That's math. And there's a lot of geometry to stop that. So unfortunately, it doesn't work in his favor. But I do like the spot because who else is going to do it? Until they trade for another player or they sign somebody off the street like a Hunter Renfrow, you got to keep going after this guy's props. And I agree with you. I like attacking yards over, say, receptions.
It has to go over. If Andy Reid can't scheme up 100 yards for Xavier Worthy, is he a fraud? Has the game passed him by? I'm starting to worry that Andy Reid's getting a little old and his scheme is getting a little tired because he's turned Patrick Mahomes essentially into a game manager. He's out here throwing 7-yard slants.
It's a bit disgusting. You're not wrong. It's a bit disgusting. And
as a football fan, I'm offended.
Buckle up. It's going to get worse with no Rashee Rice. Like, we're not going north and south anymore, friend. We are going east and west. And it's Travis Kelce, like, just hobbling along. Ooh, I spun. Oh, no, I'm going. Like, he's not going anywhere fast either. Like, it's bad. I firmly believe they need to sign a guy like Hunter Renfrow. I mean, I'm just saying that because I know Andrew will spit Michael Thomas back in my face. But, I mean.
Charmin soft.
Yeah, whatever. Oh, they need something right now. They need something. Go trade for Darius Slayton. I just talked him up. My goodness. I mean, there's a lot. I don't know about a lot of deep rooms, but there's plenty of rooms where some wide receivers are going like,
yeah,
can we get out of here, please? Like,
shit, we got Bo Melton up here. He's probably better than everything they got down there.
I mean, you think the Bears would trade Keenan Allen? I don't mind. I'm a Bears fan. I don't mind. Just do it. It's not working. Like,
no, it's not.
It's not. I mean, early on, I think he had like 10 targets week 1 before he got hurt, but they just want to. I mean, it does not look good.
44% target rate.
It did not look good though. It did not look pretty. That's for certain. And then gets hurt and then comes back. Rome's looking decent enough. You know, they keep using fucking DeAndre Carter. Like, come on, all right, just get rid of Allen. You know, go get a pick. They're trying to trade for Devontae. Cool, trade him Allen. Come on, Poles. Yep. Come on, Poles. All right, let's move over to the touchdown conversation. Let's go ahead and smash the like button, share the video. Andrew, who's your first TD up here? My list has been kind of exposed throughout the show, so mine will be short and sweet for the most part.
Yeah, obviously we were already on Wick, so we talked about that. That's plus 155. But my first one here, a man that puts the whole team on his damn back every single week. They're down Shakir. I love Kincaid, but Josh Allen, baby, when they get to that, he's a gamer. When they get to the red zone, unless they really want to force the James Cook thing in the red zone, which I don't think that they really have to, Josh Allen's going to get himself in there. This dude's a gamer, and this is a game that they're going to get up for. So plus 120, still plus money for Josh Allen. That seems crazy to me. Let's ride.
I raise you Ty Johnson.
Ty Johnson.
Dude. Okay. He gets rewarded for his blocking. He gets targets. They like him. I like that a lot.
Where is he at here?
Josh Allen.
He's at like 750 plus 750. I mean, I'll take. I agree with you, Andrew, but I'm hedging with Ty Johnson in that game for sure.
Josh Allen 52 rush yards is plus 208. I mean, this is absolutely a team on the back, drag them to victory by any means necessary game. You see these in the playoffs, but you also see them sometimes in the regular season when they're struggling. And they have to have this one. And Stroud and them boys will put up points.
We were talking Wednesday.
Need what, 27 to win this game?
I think that's fair for either side. I would still take the Bills. I would still be on them. Even I don't think Shakir being out's enough of a mover for me. I think Von Miller's out too. He's like got some type of suspension or something like that.
I mean, he keeps getting 2 sacks a game, and then all of a sudden he's suspended. I don't know.
Correlation.
Boo the no fun league. Let them take steroids. Steroids are the best.
I mean,
like why don't they allow that in baseball? I mean,
HGH, come on, baby.
Baseball is just a tired. Yeah, you want to talk about a tired play caller and Andy Reid. Baseball is a tired sport. I mean, they need points in that game.
Well, that's why they juiced the ball back in. What the hell year was that? Where everyone was fucking smacking home runs left and right.
Good. They should juice the ball. They should juice the players.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's 600.
Everyone should just focus on what the NHL does. The NHL don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
we fight, bro.
They're like, oh, you want to come out on cocaine? We're fine with that. Go ahead, all good.
Yep.
Well, no, I mean,
you imagine these players on the football field on cocaine. You want to see some hard hits? I mean, we'd get some hard hits.
Focus.
It'd be like early 2000s.
Oh, that'd be psycho. That would be a fun league.
Can you imagine Derrick Henry on fucking cocaine?
I don't think he would do that.
We get back to those Ricky Williams 42 carries days.
Yeah, he would.
I don't think Derrick Henry would do it. He's very much about treating his body like a temple. He would just be like weirded out by all the schizos around him.
Just imagine he did take it though. Like you already think that this 250-pound man flying down the field is scary. Imagine if his eyes were like this as he's doing it. Like you ain't getting in front of that.
How crazy is it that he's still one of the fastest dudes in the league?
I mean, look at his 87-yard touchdown run he just had. The guys behind him looked like they were hoofing it, and he looked like he was jogging. And I'm like, how is that possible?
He's like a bumblebee. Physics says it shouldn't happen, but it keeps happening.
Just absurd.
I love it. I love it. So we like Allen anytime in that game. We like Ty Johnson. Eric, who is your first touchdown pick?
I'm also on Wix. It's fully consensual. I got Garrett Wilson plus 160. I mean, a first TD 10-1 also makes sense. Strike first on the road. He's probably in that scripted 15, pretty heavy. I think Rodgers wants to get him going. It's been a month of fielding questions about what's up with Garrett Wilson. So I think first drive probably happens, but I don't see how he doesn't score here. running isn't going to be how you beat these dudes. It's going to take and Rodgers loves cutting up the Vikings. This is like one of his favorite pastimes.
It's true.
So I think plus 160, lower than Wicks is plus 140 right now. Garrett Wilson.
I have Wicks at plus 155. Yeah.
Yeah, 155 for Wicks for us.
Nice.
Your points there though, for sure. That's wild.
Yep.
Segueing off of Wicks, I also have Reed down as well. Again, it's kind of the same thought process. They're like going after the alternates, getting minus 115, not sexy odds, but I mean, if you want to lay a little bit both ways or take both to hit, the Rams have allowed 7 receiving touchdowns on the season through 4 games. That's tied for second. So do with that as you will. I also have Amari Cooper plus 175.
That's a good price right there.
The most touchdowns allowed to recievers.
Yes. You don't got to remind me.
You're doing just fine, pal.
I mean, yeah. Let's not even talk about it. I'm superstitious. I'm not talking about it. I haven't bet on him yet.
We're talking about it.
I'm not changing it.
No, we're talking about it.
The superstition
it's already been spoken.
Wear the Sean Taylor jersey and don't bet on them, and they've been winning. That's it, right there.
I have spoken.
That's the recipe.
You have until
they lose. When they lose, then I'll allow myself to bet on them again. But I'm not doing it. I haven't bet on them since they started winning. I'm not doing it now.
Smart.
My second one up. Revenge game narrative. And let me scroll back up to, I even marked it 942. Here it is. Mike Raub, revenge game. DJ Moore. I'm not gonna take the Diggs one, even though I don't mind the Diggs one. But DJ Moore, revenge game, plus 185. DJ Moore has been pissing and moaning on the sidelines. Not a good look for them. He's been in the coach's ear. I think the revenge game is going to be, it means something for him. I think the coach is going to finally realize, like, this dude's a baller. Let's just get the ball in his hands.
Well, and I think they're going to really slow.
Oh, so he sucks.
Don't bet on that. Like, I mean, I'll bet on the DJ Moore touchdown. Just don't bet on Shane Waldron having some type of epiphany. I think someone's going to have to come over and hold his hand to do it. I really do.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Like, Shane Waldron is just god awful. Like, this dude it's like he only understands that people can run like 3 routes. Like, I'm confused as to what he's doing, but all he really has to do is get DJ Moore like a little screen pass at like the 10-yard line. He's going to get it in there. I mean, just give it to him. So I think the revenge game is going to be real for DJ Moore. Plus 185, almost 2-1 on a touchdown for him. I like it now. I think we're getting a good price.
Yep, for sure. This is a good price. Dare Agumba-Wale, 4-1.
Well,
I mean, Ed Oliver out, hamstring. I think both teams probably score a bunch of points, and you could throw the ball against these Buffalo Bills to the running back. James Conner caught 3 for 33. Devon Achane, however he's saying it this week. He was Miami's leading receiver. Week 2 was 7 of 69. Etienne even caught 4 in week 3. 2 of the 4 games, actually, a running back has led the team in receiving opposite these Buffalo Bills. So I think Agumba-Wale heavily involved. You can't trust no Cam Akers in the red zone.
Love it.
I love it.
Yeah, they are allowing the most receptions to the running back position, actually. The most receptions to the running back position. Love that.
Just going to write that. I'm going to write that down real quick here.
Write that down.
Sorry, I'm done with spelling. Agumba-Wale. Fuck it. I'll spell it as it sounds. Agumba, fuck it. Plus 400. That's all I need to know.
Yep.
Love it. My last one was JSN plus 195. Hasn't found the end zone yet. The Giants have allowed 5 receiving touchdowns to receivers through the first 4 games. 7th most in the NFL. Upside there. Saw a lot of passing from the Seahawks last week, and JSN has been good up against the bad defenses. He didn't show up against Denver, and I forget the other one that he had. He had another blank. That's going to drive me crazy. I think it was maybe the Patriots. No, he played well against the Patriots.
Him and Pickens are so due.
Denver and Miami, yeah, because I mentioned earlier Miami's secondary has been really good, but the other 2 games, New England and Detroit, passing funnels, double-digit targets, 12 and 16. He had 30 targets in those 2 games. I think they find him into the end zone this week. And, I mean, Geno's not looking bad. The defense has put him in some bad spots. But I like JSN to have another good week, back-to-back weeks from week 4 to week 5. Give me plus 195 for JSN to find the end zone. Let's go.
That's a sweet price right there.
I got one more for you, and we kind of called it out last week. It wasn't an official play, but we did call it out on the show. It did make the highlight reel. But when you got no Devontae Adams, you got Jacoby Myers, that's going to be probably getting a lot of coverage from Sutton. That leaves Mr. Trey Tucker to go down the field with a long touchdown pass. Now, I believe his touchdown was on a run play. Yes, right? Or run. But I do think he probably catches one. But plus 380 for Trey Tucker, the probably number two in target share this week behind Bowers, I would imagine, with Sutton being on Myers, if that's how it plays out, unless Sutton just goes between them. But I think he's going to stick on Myers. If that happens, Trey Tucker's going to be live. Let's go.
They like him a lot. They were using him in those types of gadget plays when Adams was healthy. I kept saying when I went to that game, I'm like, why do they love Trey Tucker so much? They get this guy in motion for a run, an easy screen catch. Like, they like using him, and he's their change of pace guy. I like Myers because I think that they can be interchangeable, but I do like Trey Tucker for the touchdown. Also love him. He's getting 3.5 reception line. It's not plus money. I think it's minus 136 or minus 115, but good odds to hit. Very good odds to hit.
Yeah, they're trying to make him a thing.
It's happening. It's happening. Hope you guys grabbed him in fantasy for sure. He was a big grab for me
at the end for us. Yeah.
I didn't take him a ton in best ball here and there.
I did at the end, towards the middle end of August. A friend of the program, Jake Wiles, kind of pointed it out to me. I'm like, it's not a bad round 18 option. So definitely took enough Trey Tucker, which was nice. I do have a Degen anytime touchdown parlay where it's all about the tight ends. Because guess what? The tight ends do matter. No matter how this fucking season has went with these tight ends, they do matter. Damn it! Kyle Pitts started us off. We're going to get it this week here. It's Ferguson, which is plus 280, Kincaid plus 230, Andrews plus 270, and Kelsey plus 145. That's 112 to 1. 4 touchdowns. Let's ride.
Skibbity.
That's legit right there. I mean, that's the kind of stuff you can call into work on Monday after that.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, that's true.
But I mean, everyone spends $10 on lunch, like probably a ton throughout the week. Skip
5 times.
Skip buying lunch, right? Take that $10, potentially win yourself $1,126.
That's beautiful. I brought a Degen anytime touchdown because I thought,
ooh, let's go.
I can't come to Degen Dads and not bring something like that. The Panthers injury report, the Carolina injury report, basically the whole roster, which includes Ian Thomas and Tommy Tremble. You want to go full Degen? Who's their third tight end?
Jatavian Sanders.
Let's go.
Number 0 out of Texas, first team all Big 12 in 22 and 23. Recruited out of high school as a football and basketball player, as all great tight ends are. Per our lads, physicality shows up as a blocker and can make a credible difference there. Hands improved from 22 to 23 as he did not drop a single ball after dropping 4 the year prior. Ranked 5th in FBS in yards per catch. It was 11 to 1. It's down to 9 to 1 because ball knowers are betting it. Jatavian Sanders, anytime touchdown.
I got it 10 to 1. I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now.
900. I like that.
Let's go. I got it at 10 to 1 on FanDuel.
I was very happy to see Bruni on board. I'm like, we're on to something now.
Yeah. No, we're cooking. We're cooking. We got some combustion there. No, Jatavian Sanders, very friendly draft pick of the FanSpeak network this year. We're all banging the drum for him. Supposed to have that clear path. Supposed to have that little Sam Laporta setup. But thanks, Bryce Young. Appreciate you. Little clog in the whole theory there.
Bruni, we talk about it all off season long, man. When is the money won? It's at the end of the year, not the beginning of the year. It's not about how you start. It's about how you finish. Jatavian Sanders will be the guy at the end of the year. That's going to be really nice.
Filthy rich. If that's the case, we're going to be filthy rich. It's going to be
week 17, 2+ touchdowns incoming for Jatavian Sanders. You can book it now.
I don't care what type of disease I will get, but if I win the 1.5, I'm getting all pennies and dimes, and I'm just jumping at them like Scrooge McDuck. I don't care what type of illnesses I get from that, but it's happening.
Worth it.
Anybody else? Anytime touchdowns?
I gave all mine. I think it's time to jump into some favorite spread picks.
All right, Eric, lead us off. Tell us why the Packers are winning.
Well, I mean, they probably will, but I don't know if it was a Rodgers thing, but California has not been very good to us. I'm hesitant to take my Packers this week, but I see that. Oh, wow. It's down to 5.5. The Chiefs were laying 7 at one point, weren't they? The Niners are still laying 7. That's not. I think the Cardinals keep this thing close. I think it's a lower scoring game than we think. 50.5 is your total. A majority of these 50 and over point totals tend to go under. Division teams know each other. 7 points is too many. This is one of those that the layman is going to look and see, well, the San Francisco 49ers are incredible. They're at home. The Cardinals, I just saw them lose a game they were supposed to win. That was not the time to take the Cardinals. This is the time to take the Cardinals.
Love it. I full send there. I have them in a 7-point teaser, so I have them up to 14.5, which is an absolute smash.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
But I still love them at the 7.5. They would be one of my picks as well. I do like the Packers, and I'm a Bears fan, so I'm taking the Packers -3. I just think they're still the better team. All the points that we made about the receivers for Wicks and Reed, that's how they've been moving the ball. The offense has been operating very well from a passing standpoint. Jacobs could very well find the end zone in this game, but they don't need Jacobs or the run game right now. Like, they need Jordan Love to put up numbers, like to come home with wins. So I'm trusting them to really attack the secondary of the Rams, and they're going to put up points again this week. I don't know if it's like a Jordan Love 4-touchdown game or anything like that, but I am expecting the offense to be humming. And on the counter for the Rams, all they've got is the run game. Kyron could have a very good game, but I don't think it's enough not to beat the Packers, who have been not great in their secondary, but respectable enough.
Yeah, just good enough.
Barely.
This Eric Stokes kid is just good enough.
I
think against the Rams, I think that's fine. They're just not doing anything that special.
They will be one of my survivor picks this week, Packers. So don't fail me now, Jordan Love. My first ATS pick, Eric kind of mentioned him, and I was like, oh God, he's going to take my first one, but he didn't. He segued differently here, but Kansas City -5.5. Oh, they've lost Rashee Rice. What are they going to do? Get the fucking out of here. Andy Reid's going to get this game going. 5.5.
Yeah.
That's easy money. Let's take it. Come on.
I took the Saints up to +12.5.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm doing it.
Don't do it. Dude,
Too late.
The Chiefs, when they play in prime time spots like that, man, it's going to be a bloodbath. I think this is a really bad game for Derek Carr.
Bloodbath. I disagree. Patrick Mahomes has looked like a shell of himself. We just got done talking about what is Andy Reid doing. The weapons aren't there. They're not loaded up enough. The Saints have been surprisingly good, and their defense has always been their strongest narrative. They always have an above average to median defense. Like, that's what they're going to bring to the table here. Mahomes has been money, absolute money to throw an interception. If he throws one in the wrong spot in this game, the tables could turn really early. So I am taking the Saints to cover a big spread here at +12.5. But I think we can be, again, we were kind of on the same page with the Falcons in Kansas City. I told you the Falcons would upset that game, but I also had them just covering in general. And
hold on, someone's talking to me. Hold on. Patrick, what are you saying? Patrick says fuck Bruni. Okay, yeah. It -5.5. Come on.
Cute. Did you see that bit of the guy who was like, oh, Travis Kelce, when he comes home and talks to Taylor Swift, and Taylor Swift is all like super angry that he sucks, that he's terrible, and then he's like, Patrick said what? And he gets on the phone with Patrick, and he's like, what the fuck did you say? I talked to Brittany.
I'm gonna text Bruni at halftime when the Chiefs are up 20 points and say, how's that 12.5 treating you?
I definitely don't close tickets at halftime. I would recommend you don't do the same, sir. You won't make much money that way. So
nope, that's no way to live, sir.
But if you would like to contact me in the fourth quarter, if you're still awake, then by all means, we can have a conversation with 5 minutes left in the game. And if it's terrible, hey, you can let me have it. I don't think
Chiefs are getting blown out. I'm going to turn my phone off just so you can't call me.
Okay. I won't call you. You can just call me. It's okay.
What else you got?
Vikings -2.5. I just think.
Oh man.
Whoa, what?
You never lay the 2.5. You always take the 2.5. Come on, Bruni.
Vikings -2.5. Thank you. I will call you at halftime of this London game in the morning and wake you up.
Oh, I got kids. I'll be awake.
Let you know what the score is.
I'm already 9 pancakes deep by 8 o'clock.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say beers. I'm like, dude, me too. Yeah, I get it. I feel you. Oh, no, I gotta go coach flag football a Sunday morning. I can't have 9 beers before then. Maybe after then.
But the Jets defense doesn't scare me up against what the Vikings have been doing on offense. And I think that people need to be worried about the Vikings defense. They're for real. They're going to bring the pass rush. They're going to bring a lot of pressure on Aaron Rodgers. No spring chicken. Got that swollen knee last week. A couple of hits on him early is really going to set the tone of the game for the Vikings here. Playing in a neutral site, it doesn't lend any favor to either side, but I am going to take it in the grittier and a little bit more unified Minnesota Vikings. I don't like what I'm seeing over there with the little Aaron Rodgers, Robert Saleh, little jabs back and forth. Aaron's not a big hugger guy. He's like, no, I told that dude not to touch me. Told him it wasn't the right time to touch.
I will give you the angle that I don't like for the Jets here is that it's a long plane ride out there. Aaron Rodgers is banged up. Sitting still for 8 hours on a plane is not going to help.
Knee.
Like it's just not going to help sitting still like that. It does worry me a little bit that he's going to have a lot of downtime for that body to not really be in motion. I know that's a weird angle, but that is one thing that does worry me about the Jets.
It's normal, perfectly normal. You're taking the under on his rushing yards if you can get him. That's for sure because he's not coming out of the pocket.
They're giving rushing yards for Aaron Rodgers. What is it, -2, and see if he can get there? Like, what are we doing?
I think I've seen him get 5 or 6 before. He ran in the last game.
Yeah. I don't know.
He did. I mean, he had rushing yards in the last game. I think he had like 20 something in the last game.
He had rushing yards. What? I must have missed that. He probably fumbled the ball, ran it down, grabbed it.
You must have because they just literally couldn't do anything. He was running for his life. The offensive line couldn't catch a cold.
He's probably yelling at Saleh while running. He's like,
they do not have one.
Guy.
They do not have one for Aaron Rodgers, but Sam Darnold 10.5.
I mean,
somebody needs to talk to Pat Mahomes about his kneel downs. That man is stepping back like 3-4 yards on kneel downs, and it's costing us money out here.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
You can't. You go to bed, you got your yards. You wake up, your yards are gone. What happened? 3-yard kneel downs. Get it together.
I've already had that taste today in shots on goal from the NHL. I already got that little taste in my mouth. The worst.
Dude,
the worst. They're like a mafia.
Yep. It's like, oh, that's a nice sog you got there. It'd be a shame if we ruled it a deflection.
Out of here. Get out of here. Yeah. Had 3.5 with like 8 or had 3, I'm sorry, from Jack Hughes with 8 minutes left to go in the game. Had that plus Devil's money line. Easy money. Easy day one of work. 4 hours later, I check it. No, that never happened. Never happened.
There. Well, the mainstream media does not want you to know that this is a Jags spot. Jags -3 at home. They got London on deck. That's business as usual for them. I think they're about to run off 2 in a row here. I mean, vibes could not be worse in Indy. Taylor's going to be out for a while. Richardson's going to gut it out on no practice. That's not a great idea. I mean, I know the Jags suck, but you can't go out there on no practice, arguably not even belonging in the league, and just cut them up. So I think Jags put up a fight here. They got to have this one. Dougie P is worried about his job. Will the boys rally around him is the question. I don't know, but I know they won't go out there and lose on purpose to get rid of him. So I think we get a spirited effort from them today.
Let me ask you this. If they say Flacco's playing, he's a starter, any change at all?
I think he is playing. I think he is.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Does the number reflect that now?
At practice today.
The number to me doesn't reflect that. I think if Flacco plays, this game becomes a pick 'em.
I mean, I like that even better because I'm co-signing Eric's Jags -3. I mean, they're 0-4 and they're favored. It makes no sense. This is they want you to take the other side. I'm not falling for that shit. I'm taking the Jags.
This is a run to the smell game for sure.
No sense.
I would definitely want to know
I saw that was why. Why is it -3?
I think I definitely want to know the starting quarterback here because I do believe if Flacco is playing the whole game, it changes what this offense looks like. You just saw like we're talking about trying to get the Josh Down props. We saw what we were or what we got out of Michael Pittman with Flacco. Like it's a completely different offense. So for me, I definitely need to know who the starting QB is. If anything, I might be on the Colts on the plus money because I could get the better odds now with Flacco out. If Flacco is in, this game can become north and south very quickly.
I think I definitely ladder BTJ if Flacco's in.
Yeah, and the thing that I also like about this game, if Flacco plays, I mean, honestly, it really doesn't matter for that quarterback, if it's Richardson or Flacco, but the weather in Jacksonville for Sunday, light to heavy rain the entire time that game time is. I like that because Flacco's not going to move if he's the guy. If it's Richardson, he might fumble the ball. I like the weather aspect for the Jags. They're used to that. I lived in Florida for a couple years. They're used to the rain. Like that happens a lot. They're going to be more prepared than the Colts are for the rain. So I like the weather aspect for this game as well.
Minus 115
out too.
Minus 115 to the under 46.5. I will take that, and I'll also just buy it up to 48 or 49 and get throw on a little juice. See what happens with the QB situation.
Yeah, the Colts starting center Ryan Kelly is out, but Tanner Bortolini steps in. He is 300 pounds. He is from Wisconsin, and he does have a mullet. So this may actually
a mullet.
Damn it. An upgrade
it's over.
Yep. If he got a mullet, he's a baller. We can't reverse.
Yep.
Oh, Tyler checking in the chat. He said, "Oh shit, we got a handsome Devil's threesome." Takes one to know one, Tyler. Takes one to know one.
Yep. We have the procreation to prove it.
That's true. Making mothers and making winners.
Eric, you got another ATS pick that you like?
Yeah, there was one more. The Bengals of Cincinnati getting 2 at home against the Ravens.
I got 2.5 right now.
I got 2.5 as well.
Yeah.
Is this a take the 2.5 spot? Because
I put them in that 7 point teaser. My first thought
when I looked at it was, why isn't it more?
Yeah.
Oh, you teased them. Smart.
Yeah, I teased them to 9.5.
It worries me though that Derrick Henry's just going to run all over the Bengals. We've seen multiple teams do so. Mm-hmm. That's the angle I don't like. But you're right. Like only 2.5, even at home, it feels like it should be higher. So it's like, what are they trying to do? They're trying to trick us again. I think that this is the angle to take the 2.5.
Chase has had some massive games against these guys. I don't know if he's got one more in him.
No, his first couple of years, he had really good games against the Ravens. But last year, he did not look good. He had a touchdown in the second game, but only 2 catches. And then
T is who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, T looks like a good play. I like T for over 4.5 catches this week. That was paying plus money.
I did have T written down if we wanted to keep going on anytime touchdowns. I had him written down with a question mark if I wanted to give it out. He's plus 190. They do go to him in the red zone. So
I agree with you. I just feel safer with the catches. I mean, you talked about it on Wednesday for our Battle Royale conversation, getting 10 targets last week. I mean, you think of this offense, or I'm sorry, the defense for the Ravens, they're going to come at you downhill like their pass rush has been there, getting the ball out quick to the guy that's getting open and getting up to the drawn-up spot. That was T. Higgins last week. If we can continue to see that over 4.5 or I can't remember what it was, 4.5, 3.5. I can go back and grab the number, but it was paying plus money. So even if it at 4.5, I would take it.
Yeah, even in traffic against a linebacker, a safety, or whatever, he's just going to go and get it. He's one of your better contested catch dudes. Yeah, wow, exactly. The Steelers are 3-point favorites at home against the Cowboys. I love taking the Steelers, but that feels like a trap.
I would probably buy them down to as low as I can go, or just take a money line.
Fields being the starter right out of the gate absolutely saved me, because I punted quarterback in a 2 QB league just to see what would happen. I ended up I took Will Levis and Bryce Young, so now I'm rolling with Fields and Andy Dalton and just crushing it.
Let's go. Nice. Let's go. That's life. That's life. T. Higgins, it's 4.5 plus 116. I'll take that. Jamar Chase is at 5.5. The target share, just again, it's all about getting to your spot, right? T. Higgins was doing that last week. I trust him a little bit more, at least to get the ball rolling early. I could see him getting to 3 or 4 at halftime. Any other ATS picks? I just have dogs left.
I have, and this one scares me slightly because shout out to Noah B. He brought up an angle here where the Lions, when someone plays the Lions, the very next week they lose. It has 100% hit rate currently. Seahawks just played them. I don't think they lose this game, so I will take them -6.5 because the Giants probably won't have Singletary, don't have Neighbors, don't think that they're very good. The Seahawks are playing pretty damn well right now. No, yes, I'm going to fade the trend right now, but it does scare me. I just wanted to point out that the trend is 100% hit rate, but you can't stay 100 all the time, right? So I am going to take the Seahawks -6.5, but it does scare me. It does scare me.
I mean, I like it. I mean, they played so well last week, and the secondary for the Giants, like if anything, they're doing well up against the run. So their secondary should have some opportunities there with how much volume that Geno played with last week. I mean, obviously the game script pushed for that, but I just think you have a lot of faith in that.
-9.5 plus 120. Like, how do they put up any fight whatsoever?
I don't know, but am I dumb to use this as my second survivor pick? Would you guys pick the Seahawks or the Niners as your second survivor pick?
Seahawks.
Yeah. I mean, we're taking the points with the Cardinals.
Yeah, I have the Cardinals at 14.5. So yeah.
Yeah, damn it. Fuck.
Oh, man.
I'll take the minus. I mean, if I got to take one like spread pick for survivor, it would definitely be.
No, it's not a spread pick. It's just money line just to win.
Yeah, I understand, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if I had to do one or the other, then I would do them for the spread. So I would easily take them to be the or whatever the money line pick.
Yeah. Oh, it scares me though. It just scares me.
Seattle's a tough place to win. They're flying all the way across the country.
Yeah, it's true.
Malik Neighbors isn't even getting on the plane. What could go wrong?
They have already lost. Yes. I'm going to jump into the dogs here. I got the Raiders plus 130. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly, but I trust Gardner Minshew. I trust him more than Bo Nix. I'm sorry. And the Broncos do not impress me whatsoever.
Their defense has been awesome, dude.
Yeah, sure. And they're playing at home. But this game is going to be close. I just don't see the Broncos running away from anyone. Anyone can stick around with them. Minshew has been good, especially down the stretch. They won't have Adams. They won't have Madison, or I'm sorry, not Madison. Zamir White. They're gonna dig in. They're really gonna dig into the playbook, and they're gonna draw their guys up. Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, who you mentioned. I mean, one touchdown can win this game, Andrew. I mean, the Broncos, they scored one touchdown last week and won. That's it. They didn't do anything the whole game until Cortland Sutton barely tucked one in to the back of the end zone because the ball was still thrown in the completely wrong spot. Like, this is not a good offense. This is not a good football team. And the Raiders, they're not great either, but they'll be somewhat healthy on defense. They'll be a little bit better there. I like them in this one. And their defense, their defensive line, they can push the offense in favor. I saw them beat the Ravens on the road. The Broncos, who can't do anything on offense, again on the road, is a very winnable game. Give me these dogs plus 130. We running. Raiders. That's all I heard when I left the building. M&T Stadium, where the Ravens play. That's all you heard echoing through that building. Raiders.
Where do you think Denver defense ranks in DVOA?
Probably top 3.
They're 5. Pretty good.
That's not even that good. I'm giving them too much respect.
That's good, dude. That's good.
That's good. Sure. What are the Bears by chance?
Let's see.
8th?
Chicago. 10th? Chicago currently on defense is 12th.
Super good up against quarterbacks. Not so much running backs, but super good up against quarterbacks.
Anybody know who 1 is, by the way, on defense? Wild guess.
It can't be. Baltimore's pass defense is too bad.
Baltimore's 9th.
Like, your standard defenses aren't elite this year.
Yeah, it's right. Like, I was surprised. Like, they've been playing very well, but
Pittsburgh's playing great defense.
Pittsburgh, that's a good guess. They are 7th.
It's an okay guess.
Come on. I mean, think about somebody who's shocked you. They're like, they were supposed to be bad, and they
The
are
Chicago Bears.
No. Bruni said the Bears. I think it's all because of their defensive coordinator.
The Chargers.
No. Anybody? Eric probably hates these fools.
The Lions?
Oh my God.
The Vikings.
The Vikings. Number one defense in DVOA right now. And it's not close. They are absolutely killing
the Jets plus 2.5. The Jets plus 2.5.
Dude, I was just about to make one of the,
you.
I was just about to pick them on the money line. I'm not doing that anymore.
I'm not doing that anymore.
Probably a bad segue, but my dog, Jets, Jets. It makes no sense to me. And again, this is the pick that, like, I think the public's going to be on Minnesota. I'm going to fade the public here, and let's go Rodgers, baby. Jets.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I hit a lot of
his knee's not going to make the flight. It's not going to make it.
I know. I was setting
Vikings
up
defense,
for, like,
number one DVOA, number one.
So you want for defensive DVOA, you want a bigger negative number. So the Vikings are currently at minus 34.5, which is very good, by the way. Second, which is the Saints, minus 17.5. They're just double them.
Twice as good.
You are just not aging well in this conversation at all.
I'm just listen, man. It's fine. I'm not
going to call you at halftime and remind you what DVOA is. I made him tap. Throw the flag. Tapped out.
I hit the wrong back arrow. I thought I was on a different tab.
Unreal. Take a knee, Andrew. Take a knee.
I thought you were going to come in here with paperwork.
Just put...
Who's got another dog?
I got a short dog, and I think you mentioned it earlier, but the Bills, they're a dog at minus 102.
Yep.
So very, very not even really a dog, but I do like the Bills to get up for this game and take it to the Texans. I do think it's gonna be a very close game, but I think Bills squeak it out.
Yeah, they just cannot lose. It's gonna Josh Allen push all the buttons on the controller game.
100%.
Smash.
Whatever.
Smash. Okay. You got another one, Eric?
I think the Bengals win this home game plus 120.
I think that's
plus
a
115
pick
now
as well. I think the public's really high on the Ravens, given what they've shown us the past couple of weeks. So I like that as a fade the public pick as well. Personally, probably staying away, not putting in any cards. If I am, it's a single bet. Like, I'm not putting that game into any parlays or anything.
Henry is the one concern, because if you show that you can't stop the run, they're not afraid to just run 30 times in a row.
Right.
But I mean, the dogs have been doing really, really well. Maybe this is the week it turns around and the favorites come home, but these lines look really sharp to me.
My next dog was second in DVOA on defense, number 2. The Saints at plus 215. How are they plus 215 dogs? Come on. How is even a 5-point spread plus 215?
They're at Caro Head. That's why.
Unreal. Give me the Saints on the road here. Also taking over 43.5 points in that game. Those two picks together plus 451 in prime time. Got to chase away the scaries. Monday Night Football, baby. If you're in the hole, you can come back around to these two picks. You can thank me for the winners on Tuesday.
Did we get a little tip jar down here that people can click to tip us? Is there a tip jar somewhere that we can add?
No,
here?
We do it free.
Oh, that's right.
People.
Full free.
I do have that.
And join the Dub Club if you would like to get other prop touchdowns and parlay bets from us. dubclub.win/r/megs08 DFS. It's at the bottom. That's a whole fucking thing. Just type that thing in.
It's like reproduction. We do it for the love of the game.
That's right.
Also, screenshots work. Andrew would tell you to write that down, but screenshots work faster.
This is true. This is true. Screenshots, add it on Twitter. Thank us later.
I do want to throw in my 7-point teaser. We have the Bengals plus 9.5, the Panthers plus 10.5. Covered it last week. Thank you, the Panthers. The Bills plus 8.5. They certainly didn't do their job last week. The Cardinals plus 14.5. The Raiders plus 9.5. Cowboys plus 9.5. Saints plus 12.5 plus 500.
Have you considered taking that from 7 to a 7.5 teaser to get to some 10 numbers? You have a couple that are 9.5 to get it to 10. That pivotal number, like, does it change it a lot odds wise?
I would assume or plus 400 maybe.
Okay,
but I mean, you might be onto something there.
Reek in the chat says, "I'm late. You guys talk on touchdowns already." We did.
We can do a brief review. It's all good.
Yeah,
it's all good.
So here, I'll go over mine. So I got Josh Allen, DJ Moore, Dontavian Wicks, which we all agree on.
We all have
Trey Tucker, and then I did have Higgins in here with a question mark. I also did a tight ends do matter. So Ferguson, Kincaid, Andrews, and Kelsey. Again, that's Ferguson, Kincaid, Andrews, Kelsey. 112-1 on the parlay. You're welcome.
I had Wicks, Garrett Wilson, Dare Agumbawale, 4-1, and then Tre'Davious Sanders, Tre'Davious Sanders. That's it is.
Yeah, which is 9-1, by the way, if you missed that, or 10-1 on FanDuel, I believe.
10-1 on FanDuel for Jatavian
Carolina
Sanders.
Panthers, backup tight end.
I third the Dontavian Wicks. So when 3 people tell you the same thing, if you're banking on it not to happen, you can go take Jaden Reed minus 115 as well. Amari Cooper plus 175. The pass funnel Commanders, the Washington pass funnels, whatever they're being called nowadays, plus 175. Most touchdowns allowed in the air to receivers. You're welcome again, Andrew, for that. JSN plus 195. Juicy matchup up against the Giants secondary, allowing the 7th most receiving touchdowns to receivers. 5. The leader has 10. That's Andrew's team.
Should put that in my teaser. That makes it a nice even plus 400. Under 41.5 in the Dolphins game. Cardinals plus 13. Over 41 in the Bills game. And then over 44 in that Commanders game.
Love that Commanders total. Yeah, love that. The offense has just been humming.
How happy are you that you got the quarterback of the future?
Oh, man. A lot of people have asked me, like, so how does it feel to, like, not watch them be completely shitty? And I'm like, it feels good, but I don't want to get my hopes up. RG3's rookie year also felt really electric. Yep. Then he got hurt. And then it all went downhill. So Jaden Daniels has been sliding very well. I do feel good about that. So as long as he can stay healthy, we will keep on riding. They have punted once in the last 3 weeks. That is very impressive for them.
Psycho.
Believe me.
Yep. It's psycho. You might have the quarterback with the most potential, but I've got the quarterback with the best nails. All right.
Neat. Yep. Right.
Got that.
We know who he's voting for.
You got that going for you. Yeah. I grabbed Daniels in the 10th because I'm like, this kid's awesome. I can't just let him go by again. So now I have Jalen Hurts as like a bye week fill-in. I don't know what I'm going to do with Jalen Hurts, but he's not starting over Jaden Daniels.
I mean, that's a pretty good problem to have.
I guess.
I'm like, do I start Hurts or do I start Daniels? It's not a bad problem.
Eventually, I'll need somebody.
Yeah. Well, right now that answer is pretty easy with how bad it's going. Well,
I mean, this week it's really easy. Yeah,
this week's a bye. Yeah. Andrew, what's the signal for someone that won't vote because it's a shit show? What's that context clue?
I don't want to hear you bitch about it for 4 years if you didn't put your vote in.
I don't.
Yep.
Yeah, I listen, and I know we're not political. I'm not gonna get on that, but it's our civic duty. Like, just go do it one way or another. It's whoever you want to vote for is fine, but it's your civic duty. Like, go do it. It's what we're given to do.
That said, I cannot imagine what would make someone wake up, get dressed, eat a bowl of $9 cereal, get in their car that has a quarter tank of gas, drive downtown, wait in line, and fill out paperwork to ask if we could please have 4 more years of what this is. I don't know why you would do that.
On that note, Bruni, anything else?
Nope, that's it. Nothing but winners over here. We are going to head on out for the night. Appreciate everybody stopping by with us.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Before you do it, Eric, plug yourself. Let everyone know where they can also find more winners.
Over on that damn sports network, we're getting Patriot Sports Radio back off the ground too. Sort of just like Andrew Luck out here freelancing. Announcing all my daughter's home swim meets. That's been a lot of fun. But yeah, check us out, that damn sports network, Patriot Sports Radio, Resurrection.
And where do they find that damn sports network?
At TDS Network. On the Twitter, find me at Proptology Department.
You guys do a lot of stuff. Do you solely do on Rumble?
Yeah, pretty much, because that's where you can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And we do better building, like community building over there too. Something about the folks over on Rumble. Solid humans.
Yeah, if you guys haven't checked them out, go do so. I love listening to Cricket. One, I like his voice, just the way he talks, and like his accent is awesome. But he's a wealth of knowledge. Like I really like listening to what he says too. So he's a cool dude to follow.
Yeah, he's one of those dudes you meet and you're like, how are you not on ESPN?
Yeah, he's very good at what he does. I thoroughly enjoy listening to him.
This has been awesome. I haven't seen you guys in a minute.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yeah, we appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate you being on. We'll have to have you back soon. Everybody take care. Be well, be good. If you can't be good at it. We'll see you.